Mrs. Bonneville, where are we?
Did you miss us?
Where are we?
We're on Ciao Bella.
What are we doing on Ciao Bella?
We've just fetched Kenneth back from groomers, haven't
More on that in our vlog.
Yeah.
Yes, we're vlogging again.
Yeah.
Right, we'll go into where we've been, what's been going on shortly. Welcome back. Seems weird, doesn't it? So this is for those that have been around and been very patient,
Thank
and
you.
for those that are new or stumbled across this channel, we do I was going to say monthly, but I should say twice a year. We do a question and answer session that is based upon your lovely cuckoo clock. For those that don't know, we've got a cuckoo clock. There you go. Yeah, for those that have stumbled across us, we do a question and answer session. We live on a wide beam boat, and we take your questions and we answer them. I never share them with Mrs. B. I do edit them sometimes because some of the language and that can be a bit choice. We don't do politics and religion, and we definitely don't do holiday lodges or lodges, whatever they're called, or things like that.
GSA motorbikes.
Or motorbikes.
Yeah.
So, shall we get straight into it?
Yes.
And by the way, this is our lovely dog Kenneth, if you've, I say, just stumbled across us. Right, here we go. It seems weird, doesn't it, to be...
Seems like forever, doesn't it?
Right. Oh, God, you can tell how old I am. I need glasses on now to read things. Excuse me. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Oh, that's a sign of age, isn't it? You need your readers, as
I
Peter
need,
Kay would say.
I need me readers.
Get your readers on.
Oh, right. Here we go.
Well, you could have actually enlarged the screen, but who am I to say?
Right. Linda Perkins from Redruth. Where's Redruth? I think that's in Cornwall.
I was just going to say Cornwall.
Is it Cornwall?
Yeah, I'm sure it's Cornwall or down that.
Sure, it's Cornwall.
Yeah.
Not really a question, more of it in bold. And sorry, I should have said all I do is literally cut and paste. You won't be able to see that, but I cut and paste the questions that come in on email. And if you want to send us a question, the email address is darrenevans05@gmail.com. Right, Linda. Not really a question, more of it. All of this is now in bold. Where have you both been? I miss you. I'm sure hundreds, if not thousands of others have missed you.
Oh.
Really worried about you. So come on, start with you, Mrs. B, and then you can have a rant, Mr. B, about where you've been. Right, well, while Mrs. B's doing that, I'm going to get up and clean my glasses because they're a bit dirty. Mrs. B, where have we been?
Well,
oh, sorry, Kenneth.
we started off, Mr.
Marriage counselling.
It didn't work. We started off, Mr. B was very poorly, and he had what people are referring to at the moment as the 100-day cough. The 100-day cough. He didn't have it for 100 days. He had it for
Felt like it.
About 2 months, didn't you?
Yeah.
In fact, it got so bad that he had to sleep in this for about 5 nights because he couldn't lay down because he was coughing. And then I got it, obviously. And then my mum had quite a big operation.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fabulous now.
Yeah. We had a mini separation.
So we didn't.
We didn't.
We didn't. I can't get rid of him that easily. So we've had. It's been more or less illnesses and things like that have prevented us from doing it. But also, I'm in the process, fingers crossed, of getting my knee sorted out finally. So I'm really beginning to feel my knees. It's become a lot worse than what it was. So. Fingers crossed that should happen very shortly. So it's been illness more than anything else that's kept us away. But we're absolutely fine now, aren't we?
I would add to that everything, yeah. And I really wasn't that great.
No, it wasn't.
To be honest, I didn't, you did, I didn't because of, and I really was quite bad for a couple of months with this cough. And I just didn't feel like filming anything. That's the bottom line. So don't read into that. But I really wasn't feeling it.
It looks shocking. It looked really bad.
We are back. We're not going to be back on a weekly basis. We'll probably do a couple of uploads a month. But yeah, we never went anywhere and we're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And so is our little beautiful dog. I've tried to combine, and I do mean this, and I should have counted them, I didn't, but I know there was a lot. I want to say a lot. There was well over 50.
Wow.
Which for us, we're a tiny little channel, so well over 50 emails. Where are you? Hope you're okay. We're fine. Stop being nosy. Thank you. Linda, thank you.
Can I just add something in there?
Yes.
So, just a quick note, we actually got our tickets for Crick, didn't we?
Oh Lord, we did.
We did. We're still going to Crick this year. We're going
We're
on
going to Crick with Terry and Anne.
with Terry and Anne. Yes, our friends off the Marina.
Yeah, which we don't get to see that well as much as I would like. Only because I work.
Yeah.
I don't do a Friday still, but I do work, and it's crazy hours for me. So
Yeah.
we're going to Crick with Terry and Anne, and we can't wait.
On a Saturday. So if
On
you're
a
there,
Saturday.
we'll see you and say
If
hello.
you're there, come say hello to Mrs. B. Ignore me because I'll grump at you.
Oh, you can come and fling your arms around me if you want, because I'll fling them back round at you.
Right, moving on. Mark Roberts from Ipswich. Absolutely love the stuff you pair get up to. Really funny and easy to watch. Thank you both
Thank you
for
very
the
much.
time and effort you put into these videos. And he's put in brackets when you can be bothered to upload them.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
So, I like this. So I get to see the questions, Mrs. B doesn't. So, a quick fire set of questions in brackets just for fun. That Mrs. B, you have to immediately answer. In brackets, Mr. B, you've already seen these, but you still get to play and also answer them.
Go on then.
Mrs. B, you get no more than 1 second
Okay.
to answer. So Mark's asked 5 questions. I do like these. Are you ready? So, just to because she's a terrible listener, just to reinforce, I will ask you the question. At the end of it, you have to answer.
Immediately.
Yeah. First question. What would you prefer? House, bungalow, lodge, new boat, and why did you choose what you did?
At the moment, possibly new boat.
Mr. B at home or at work, and why, please?
At work. Oh, and why? No,
You see?
Can I just?
No,
in my
that's
defence,
it's
Your Honour,
it's Mark's question.
Can I, in my defence, I want a bit of both because it's nice. It's nice for us
No.
not to be joined at the hip.
At home or at work? You said at home.
No, I said
That's
at work.
why we've had at work. That's why we're having marriage counselling. I'm joking. Ready? Mm-hmm. Coast, city, town, or rural life, and why?
Rural.
And why?
Rural because it's good for your mind to have all this greenery and fields and stuff.
Thank you. Wine, beer, spirits, or orange juice?
Beer.
A 4x4, sports car, motorbike, or public transport?
4x4.
Thank you, Mrs. B, and please get back vlogging soon.
Oh,
Right, I'll
thanks,
answer
Mark.
the questions. So Mark's put house, bungalow, lodge, or new boat, and why? Unlike Mrs. B, mine would be a bungalow because that's eventually, I think, what we'll end up in.
Yeah, but right now I said new boat.
Yeah, don't think we want a house because unless it's a tiny little cottage. But yeah, bungalow. Yes, we have. Funny enough, we did view a few boats the other week. We won't go into what happened or what boats we viewed and how poorly built they were, in our opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are kind of considering it. We know we're going to be here for a minimum of 5 years, so we are looking at possibly getting a new boat.
A brand new one.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. What we do know is it will definitely be an aqualine. Is that a fair comment?
Definitely.
Definitely an aqualine.
Yeah.
Mr. B at home or at work? At work, because I'm not going into retirement. I am so not ready to do that. Coast, city, town, or rural life? For me, coast, because that's where eventually I want to end up, next to the coast. Wine, beer, spirits, or orange juice? Orange juice every day.
He's a lying dog.
Beer. 4x4, sports car, motorbike, or public transport? Definitely 4x4. Although we have treated ourselves to something which will come up on a vlog soon that is quite sporty. Mm-hmm. No more on that. And yeah, thank you for vlogging, being back vlogging. You're more than welcome. Mark, I really enjoyed those questions. I keep them type of questions coming in, folks. I love them.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, very good.
I like questions like that.
Or any question, I don't mind, whatever they want to ask.
As long as they're all directed at me, not to Mrs. B. Did you miss me? Stuart Robbins and my lovely wife, Sue. This has made me laugh, Stuart. Both from Cardiff. Why would you not both be from Cardiff? Particularly if you've got a lovely wife. Anyway, Stuart's put a really great channel and the content. Big thank you. You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Hope this gets into monthly question answer. Would put your teeth in. would really like to know, bear in mind we haven't been vlogging for a while, so thanks for being patient, and everyone else's that we haven't got to yet. Would really like to know, have you made any New Year's resolutions, please? Mrs. B first. If so, and if not too personal, what are they?
No. I
Can
never
you
make
just
it.
pad that out and drink your coffee?
Sorry.
Try it just for an hour.
No, I never make a New Year's resolution. So I just don't. You know, 'cause it's never going to be kept, is it? So no, I haven't. No.
Yes, I've made a couple. They're not that personal. One is to remain healthy, relatively healthy, aren't we? Although that 100-day cough I had really knocked me about. So yeah, to remain healthy. Obviously to remain on the Marina because we absolutely love being here, and obviously for my wife and lovely dog to remain happy and all that stuff. So those are mine, and there's a couple of work things which I'm not going to bore you with those.
But that's very nice.
Glad to know Mrs. B made 0 resolutions about her husband. We've got that on camera. 0. Keep the money coming in. That's, I think, what the resolution might have been. I know she loves me deep down.
It's down there.
Stuart, thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Andrew, I've got quite a few questions this month. Andrew and Katie Bruce from Port Talbot.
Oh, nice.
You two, the vids really are great, and we both really love watching you. We've been meaning to ask this for a while and hope at some point soon, in brackets, we may get this onto your monthly question and answer. Well, here it is. Andrew and Katie have put, primarily for Mrs. B, and Mr. B, can you have a go second, please?
Oh.
I don't like the approach here. They're putting me, I don't like to be put in the back of the queue.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. No, nobody puts Darren in the corner.
So, Mrs. B, do you think Mercy and Marina will end up pricing folk out of living there, particularly on Y-beams as you have? Also, do you think it will put people off buying a boat, and is this why they just aren't selling at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, we said before, haven't we, that...
Yeah, we've been asked this quite a few times. Not a problem, though.
No, but the pandemic was a good thing and a bad thing. It's obviously a bad thing. Nobody wants to be in lockdown and all that sort of stuff.
No.
But it made people realise a lot of things and putting things into perspective and all that sort of stuff. And we bought the boat during lockdown, and I think a lot of other people saw it as a different way of life, and it was euphoric at the time. And that now has come down a little bit.
Oh, the bubbles burst.
And the bubbles sort of burst.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Marina's going to be undergoing some radical changes on the Marina. We'll keep you updated. And they start in summer of this year. And, you know... And
keep talking, I'm just going to open a window. It's quite warm in here.
With that, there might be... I mean, the prices go up every year, don't they? And in answer to your question, I think there's already been a lot of people that have left because of the price increase. And I think introducing new things, I think there's going to be an Italian restaurant on here, and you know, as a destination place, it's really popular. And with anything that's really popular and they're adding things, that's going to make the price go up. So,
yeah,
I think it will, won't it?
There's a couple of things in no particular order. I've said it before, it's just my view. So don't get all arsey for folks that are listening or tuning into this. I take exception when people leave Mercy Marina because they can't quite afford to live here and then decide to slag it off. That does happen sometimes, and that's, I think, quite annoying because it is a beautiful place to live. There's no doubt about that. If you don't want to take your boat out and want to live in a wide beam and pretty much be in the centre of the UK, this is the place to live. End of.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's a lovely, lovely place to live. And that, you know, you've heard us say a few minutes ago, you know, we are currently looking at, you know, possibly getting a brand new boat because we've decided to stay for minimum another 5 years. And that'll see me to 60, and then obviously decisions will be made. So, you know, is it pricing folk out of here? I'm not sure, but as I say, we know people leaving because of the mooring prices.
Yeah.
But then you look at the cost of living in general. I don't know what a fair comparator would be. It's not fair. I believe it's not fair. So, you know, in terms of transparency, to put our boat, to keep it in the water here, including our CRT license, which is daylight robbery, is about £1,000 a month. That's mooring fees and our CRT license. So that's 12,000 quid a year. I don't know what a comparable would be. You know, you can't compare that to, you know, I hear quite a few folk, you know, over the last 12 months, well, we've bought a lodge because it's cheaper. It may be, but I don't know what the fair, you know, comparator would be to living on a marina. So everything's got its pluses and minuses. Buying a lodge has got pluses and minuses. Buying a house has got pluses and minuses. Bottom line for us, it's whether we, you know, not can afford it. We can. It's whether, as I keep saying to Wendy, and we have discussions about it, it's whether this continues to be value for money. And at the moment, I think it's value for money. But it's expensive to live here. And I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I love it.
In terms of the marina development, you know, again, there'll be folk living on this marina who won't be happy about it. You know, I will keep my mouth zipped up because personally I think, you know, those folk that moan about it are silly. You know, it's enhancing the marina, it's enhancing, you know, the environment in which we live, and all that stuff. You know, I've said 1,000 times, don't moor your boat at Mercia Marina if you don't like people and crowds, because it's a destination marina. It's got shops, it's got a bar, it's got an Indian restaurant, and there's more to come.
Yeah.
So all that's going to attract, guess what, is more people. If you don't like that, go and moor in Crick or a Tatton Hall. Nothing wrong with those marinas. They're beautiful, but they've got no facilities as such.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, and noise and stuff. It's so funny because come summer when it's really busy, where we are situated, we like to have the canopy down and the sunshine coming in, and it's amazing because we've got all the trees and everything around. You can't hear the noise. You suddenly go through our gate and it's bedlam.
Yeah.
You close our gate and it's really quite quiet. So
and I do think very, very quickly, Andrew and Katie, I do think people get a shock. You know, most marinas are pretty much, you know, I'd love, as I've said many times, I would go to Stratford upon Avon, Shakespeare's Marina, in a heartbeat. I don't think Mrs. B would, for a number of different reasons, quite rightly so. But I do think no matter where you put your boat now, people are shocked at how it's not a cheap way of living. So does that correlate to why boats, or the wide beams particularly, are taking a while to sell? Possibly. You know, if people think this is a cheap way of living, it isn't. As I say, but I don't know your mortgage, I don't know your rent. I work with people who've got mortgage payments of £2,000 a month and rent payments of that. I say, to keep this boat in the water here with our licence is about £1,000 a month. So what's that, 250 quid a week? That's our cost of living. Obviously we've got food, electricity, all the stuff on top of it, just like you have on land. So I don't know is the answer, but I think it's a really good question. But I do think it has made a lot of people readdress, because as I say, there's folk on this marine unfortunately can't afford the mooring fees, you know, and they've had to move on, and they are moving on. That I think
nice
is tragic.
People have gone,
Yeah,
really nice people.
but yeah, really good question. Sue Roberts. Sue Roberts is from Chester. Literally stumbled across your channel and really like it. That's a lovely thing to say, Sue. Thank you. Love Mercia Marina. What a lovely place to live. You're both very lucky, although you certainly pay for it, per what we've just discussed, Sue. You know, others watching this might think, oh God, what's he moaning about? It's only £1,000 quid a month. Fine. I was sat in the cafe a few weeks back. Can't wait to share this with Mrs. B. I was sat in the cafe a few weeks back and was rather saddened when I overheard a couple slating, and we've just talked about it, slating the plans to develop Mercia Marina. I'd love to know what you two both think. And she's put in brackets, Sue. Hope that doesn't get you in trouble with the people who own the marina. Of course it won't. But really keen to know for a couple who live there on a beautiful boat, because it's something longer term myself and my husband David would really like to consider.
Oh, good on you.
I think we've pretty much said.
Yeah, we embrace it. There's going to be days when they're doing the building work that it's going to get on my nerves. Yeah, and let's face it, out of the two of us, it's Mr. B that's more meticulous. So it will do his head in when the dust is landing on the boat. But it's not forever. It's going to be for a short time.
It'll be about a year. I think there'll be a year of disruption.
To give you an example, I mean, if there's an Italian restaurant there, brilliant, and how great it would be to come out and we can stagger back, and we've not got far to come. Because last night, me and my friend Anne went to a psychic night here on the marina in the boardwalk, and it's lovely because it's there, and we could walk to it, and then we walk back, and you're not having to worry about taxis or anything like that. It's actually on the marina.
Well, we've been a couple of times recently with Anne and Terry, haven't we, to the
Yeah.
boardwalk? And Mrs. B's quite right. You know, we can walk there, we have a few beers, some tapas, and come home.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
It's
And
great.
if there's an Italian coming here, and other, you know, win-win. But as I say, there will be folk
Yeah.
on the
win.
marina, and I do say, please don't take this the wrong way. If you don't like that, there's plenty of other marinas out there that don't have this wonderful, you know,
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, we
And that's
love it.
what drew us to it.
I can't wait. Well, we love
Yeah.
food. Look at us. We love. So
I'm breathing
anything.
in. But no, listen, Sue, really, really lovely question.
Yeah.
And as I say, if you've overheard it in the cafe, I think personally it's rather sad. You know, the marina management team here, don't get me wrong, you've heard me grumble. They don't get everything right, but they get an awful lot of it right, as far as I'm concerned. You're always going to get grumbles, but
Yeah.
they're never going to win. They're never going to win. Those folk grumbling, I guarantee, once it's all done and finished, will probably be thinking, oh, how lovely is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Maureen.
You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs.
Stop pinching my phrase. No, but you're right. Maureen and David Roberts from Cumbria. They don't mention where in Cumbria. You three are so lovely, and we both really enjoy the videos, and we so miss you.
Oh, thank you.
We do hope you're both okay.
We're brilliant now, apart from my funny knee.
This is a good one, and I've just been banging on, and I've not been banging on because I know what's coming. I've just been banging on about it. Ooh, I'm really warm. We recently visited Shakespeare Marina in Stratford-upon-Avon because of one of your vlogs. We'd never ever been to Stratford, and it was Stratford that really drew us, not the marina, but we visited both. However, we've now decided to have our new Y beam put in there. It's such a lovely part of the country. We absolutely have fallen in love with the Cotswolds. Can't believe we've never ever been there before. Thank you, pair. Thank you both, sorry. Because we had decided on another marina, which we can't name, and we weren't that convinced about. P.S. We ended up going for an Aqualine. You were both right in terms of superior fit. Finally, our question is, have you both discounted ever moving from Mercia? Mrs. B first, as always. Come on, Mr. B, be a gentleman.
No, in answer to your question. But I'll not just leave it as a Yorkshire no. No, because I love it here, and I love it for lots and lots of reasons. And one of those reasons is the fact that me and Kenneth get in the car on a Thursday morning and drive, and within an hour and 20 minutes, I'm with my family in Sheffield, and it's nice and close. And especially, like I said to you at the start of this vlog, Mum had quite a major operation, so it was great that I was close enough to go and see her and stuff. So no, I wouldn't want to leave this marina. I know Mr. B will, and he's going to answer that question again.
No,
yeah.
no, not for the same reasons. But look, let's be, you know, it's a horrible thing to say. You know, life, you know, will at some point present, you know, not an opportunity, but life will present, you know, itself with, okay, we may be able to in the future. Right now, no, not at all. I absolutely love seeing Mrs. B go to see her mum, her dad, her family, you know, in Sheffield on Thursday. Let me be really clear about that. I you know, that was part of us coming here. We said many times we'd do a 50-mile. This just sits 2 miles, 3 miles out of it. But Mrs. B can go and see her family, definitely. If that situation wasn't at play, yeah, well, we may, who knows? But no, absolutely not intended on leaving Mercia.
But you do like Shakespeare.
I absolutely love Shakespeare Marina. Don't kid yourself. Yeah, I would love to go and try living there, but no. And as I say, for those reasons. The other thing, well done on your Aqualine.
Yes,
Love to see and I would genuinely love, honest to God, Maureen and David, we would love 6-12 months. Drop us a little email, see how you're getting on.
Yeah, we'll come down and see you.
Yeah, because when we went, we know it's probably still very, you know, it's a brand new marina. All the planting's got to establish,
Yeah.
and I know eventually what that place will look like.
Didn't they say they were going to an eatery or a pub or something?
Yeah,
built on
there's
there?
apparently a pub coming
All
there,
sorts
a
of
little
things.
hotel.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be what this place was like 10, 12
In the
years ago.
beginning, yeah.
They've
But
all got to establish themselves.
Because you literally can see the centre of Stratford
Yeah,
from the marina. It's
a-
so close.
yeah.
It's
You know,
lovely.
and I know again,
It is nice,
the
yeah.
Cotswolds, Stratford isn't everyone's cup of tea. Why? But that's the draw for me. It's where it is. So yeah,
Yeah.
well done you two.
Yeah, very nice. Let us know how you get on
Absolutely, and when you get your Aqualine.
there. Yeah.
Gail and Simon Robertson from the Jurassic Coast. lovely part of the
nice,
world.
yeah,
We've
down
been
there.
down there a few times, haven't we?
We have, and we've watched the lovely, gorgeous Michael Portillo doing his walks down there, because you know I've got a bit of a thing for Michael Portillo. Not a big thing, because my big thing's for you, but Michael Portillo.
Hello, I'm in the room. Hello, I'm in the boat. Unbelievable. Love the channel and banter. Really is funny. Gail, thank you. Simon, thank you. Mr. B, that I love it already. Mr. B, can you please come and stick your foot up our 26-year-old son's backside? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 exclamation marks. No, because he might be bigger than me. I'm an old man now. All I'm just reading it as all he does is sit on his PC and surf the bloody internet all day. Why? I don't know. I haven't got kids. I really haven't. And I'm not going to kick his backside, but put your laptop down and go out and start living. There you go. We also have a question for the absolutely lovely and adorable Mrs. B. Why did you not call me lovely and adorable? Why did you ask me to kick your son's backside? Anyway, the question for the lovely and adorable Mrs. B. What we are guessing is that because you are with the lovely Kenneth more than Mr. B because of his work, then training has possibly been most of your responsibility. We'd love to know, how's it been going? We have a 2-year-old Labrador and he can be a total nightmare most of the time. When we see the adorable Kenneth on camera, he always seems so incredibly well behaved. Mrs. B. He is.
He is. I would say, look, he just looked up then.
He is.
He just looked up and went, excuse me, Mum. Obviously at first, he's so clever, he knows all the commands. The main ones that we want to get, the first one that we want to get and want to get it 100% is his recall. Yeah. He's got to come back when we shout him, and he's got to come back because if he's running towards a dog that's on a lead, if he's running towards an aggressive dog, he's got to come back. And I would say now I am 95% okay with his recall. The only thing that would spoil that is if there's a dog on heat, and then he just forgets everything and all his hormones kicks in and he goes a bit crazy. But he is very, very good. And they say, how many commands did they say, or how many words?
140 odd.
Yeah, 140 odd words that they can do. And he is
knows more than me.
All I did training-wise, we didn't take him anywhere to train him. We just trained him using treats like chicken and cheese and stuff like that. And it's just repetitive. It's just repetitive.
Yeah.
And what we're in the process now of teaching him or stopping him from doing it is pulling on the lead.
He's humping me.
Oh, he humps Darren all the time.
Permanently I move and he humps me.
Yeah, it's free game. If he bends down, that's it.
Can I just add to that? I agree. For me, yeah. Funny, we were only saying the other day, weren't we? I've got a lot more confidence in his recall now, and I agree with Mrs. B. That's the number one priority.
That's it. Yeah.
When we're out socially, we will clip something in maybe next week for we're going somewhere tomorrow, which we think you'll enjoy. But we've just literally come back from a dog groomers, and I can't stress how well behaved this boy is. We take him into restaurants and pubs. He's amazing.
As long as we've got a table and I take his little blanket, he'll just lay under that table and you won't even know he's there.
Massively proud of him. Yeah. I really am. And Mrs. B, you're absolutely right. You know, Gail and Simon, you know, Mrs. B has spent and spends, you know, much more time with her than I do. And it has fallen to Mrs. B to, you know, get him in shape as such in terms of his training. And he's a brilliant boy.
Yeah, he is. He's very good.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he is. And when Mommy does her mean it voice, he knows that I mean it.
Yeah. But thank you for that question.
Just like Darren when I say it to Darren. When I use my mean it voice, he knows.
David and Sue Grimshaw from Kent.
Oh, Kent. Isn't that the Garden of... What do they call it, Kent? Is it the Garden of England?
I don't edit any of these.
I'm just sure it's the Garden of England, Kent, yeah.
David and Sue have put, really great channel, and thanks again for the content. You're more than welcome. Sorry, it's been a little bit sporadic recently. Yeah. Last year, you had 3 holidays. Open brackets, only jealous. Got a problem with that. We would love to know how many holidays this year, where, and when. And by the way, seriously, please keep the vids coming. We did have 3 breaks last year. Yes, we did.
Down in Devon, weren't it?
Yes. In fact, did we have 4?
I think so, yeah.
Anyway, move
Yeah.
on.
It's very
We've
nice.
got a trip. We've got Austria coming up
In June.
in June. When I say coming up, that's a few months away. Nothing at the moment is planned, primarily because 2 reasons. One, the first of the 2 reasons is we've recently purchased something which has cost a few quid, so that's where a big proportion of the money's gone. And secondly, I've gone to 4 days a week, and that's only because I want to do 4 days a week. That's my pre-retirement plan. And as I say, we've just not really planned anything, have we?
And I'm hoping to have an operation.
And I wasn't. Am I okay to mention that then? Yeah.
Oh,
About
yeah,
your
yeah,
knee? Yeah.
yeah.
And that is another reason.
Yeah,
You've
'cause-
got an appointment soon, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm having an MRI and an X-ray, and then a few weeks after that, I'm meeting with the consultant. So it
Yeah.
all depends on that meeting
Yeah.
as to what's going to be done.
Now, again, I'm sure Mrs. B won't take this the wrong way, but once all that's out of the way, and I say out of the way, once we've got more clarity in terms of what's happening, it could be, the knee replacement might not be till September.
Yeah.
If that is the case, well, we'll go down to Devon probably, won't we?
Yeah, or I might not need a knee replacement.
Yeah.
It might become something else.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
So
So we're a little bit in limbo, aren't we?
Yeah, but do you know, last year we were going to go to France, and then it was me really that got really nervous about all the paperwork, and I was getting myself so uptight about taking Kenneth, and would they confiscate him and all that. Well, some friends of ours on the pontoon, they took their little dog, who was the same age as Kenneth, to Spain for a few months, and she said, "Why are you getting so uptight? It's pretty straightforward." And we started the ball rolling with that, and my vet said the same. Don't worry,
We had a beautiful gîte with a swimming pool booked.
But I mean, we ended up having a lovely time in Devon
We
in
did,
the signal box.
absolutely,
The signal box,
we did.
If
We
you
did,
want
we
to look
did.
at
Yeah.
that video.
Yeah.
But I just I wanted to have slept. I would have been frightened to death to come back into England. So now that I know that it's not that bad, and we've just started that ball rolling. So his rabies jab is fully inoculated. He always is. So there's all different steps. And the vet's taking me through it. So
Anyway,
I feel a lot comfortable.
so yeah, we'll wait to see what happens over here.
with me turnip knee.
Simon and Paula Parker from, I can't even pronounce this, Sri Lanka, and you've put Southern Italy.
Oh, nice.
Italy, full stop, tick.
Yeah, anyway.
You pair have such a lovely channel, and thank you, as everyone else always says, the videos are great, and the monthly question answers are absolutely hilarious. Mr. B, we hope you absolutely never change, and one day hope you run for Prime Minister.
Well, you can't do a worse job, can you? Even though we're not political.
Simon and Paula, we have a 20, oh God, it's not, I'm not going to kick his backside. We have a 27-year-old son, Peter, they've named you Peter, who simply can't get on the property ladder. It's genuinely heartbreaking because it's happening to his generation. He has enough money, and together with us, with a little from us, to buy a wide beam, not new, or newish narrowboat. Would you both genuinely recommend he did it? We do understand if you decide not to answer this, as it really is a tough one, and there's nothing on you should you decide to answer it.
Can I just say something? On our pontoon, the pontoon that we're on, there's about 11 boats on. And we've got mainly wide beams, but we do have a few narrow boats. And a lovely, lovely...
Don't name him.
Oh, no, I'm not going to name him. But a lovely young man came onto the pontoon last year. Oh,
Nice
he's
guy.
lovely.
Very
and only
nice
young.
guy.
What is he, about 23, 24?
He's in his early 20s.
And that is the narrowboat is his first home.
Yeah.
And he owns it. He bought a second-hand narrowboat, and he's just had a lovely morsel squirrel stove fitted. And it's
He's
his
loving
home.
life.
It's his home.
Yeah.
And, whether your home is a caravan, whether it's bricks and mortar, whether it's whatever it is, it's his first home, and he's so chuffed. You can see when you talk to him how proud he is of his new home. So I would say personally, absolutely,
I agree with that. In a heartbeat, I would. If you've watched our channel for a while, you've probably occasionally heard me, Mrs. B got very relaxed and comfortable with living on a boat much quicker than I did. Whilst I was the one to suggest it, it took me a while. Oh my God, we're leaving bricks and mortar. And I've still got a very firm view when we do go back to land, it will be proper bricks and mortar. That's all I'm saying there. But buying a boat as your home, yeah, absolutely, in a heartbeat. The only thing I would say, not that I've come across too many people, we've been quite fortunate. Maybe we've said before, we made money on a narrow boat, and when we sell this, we will make money. We've had email offers for £160,000 for this. That will see us making money, but we're not selling it, and that's not the reason we bought it, to make money. So we will be lucky. Don't buy a boat thinking you're going to make money. That's my point. You're not going to make money on a boat.
That bubble's burst, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's well and truly burst, and I actually don't think it was ever a bubble that was there anyway. Personally, boats depreciate.
Like a car. It's like a car,
yeah.
isn't it?
But as a way of life, but as I've said earlier, we mentioned earlier, it costs us £1,000 to sit this in water here. We never get that £1,000 back each month, and it certainly doesn't, go into this, going that. So you've got that to consider versus renting. We have a similar view on renting properties. It's never your own. And as a lifestyle, love living on a boat.
Yeah.
We love it.
So, the young man that's on here, we all look
he's
out
a guy,
for him.
lovely guy.
Oh, he's so sweet. He's
so
lovely.
yes, in a heartbeat. I'd recommend it to anyone. If we had kids, I can wholeheartedly say, if they came back and said, Mum, Dad, we're going to buy a boat, what do you think?
Yeah, because
Crack on.
if you're buying a second-hand boat, a pre-loved boat, like Ciao Bella was, you can spend anywhere from 20,000 upwards. So to be able to think you can buy your first home and pay for it, and not have a mortgage or anything, how nice is that?
Yeah,
it's lovely.
Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
And also, whilst it may not necessarily happen for us for various different reasons now, you can also, don't forget, if it's an narrowboat, go wherever you want in the UK or on the network, and if you've got the money and the I suppose the adventure in you, you can have your boat lifted out and take into another country.
Wherever.
So there's always that stuff. But yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
We'd say, do it.
Good question, that, Simon and Paula. And actually, drop us a note. We'd love to know how that ends up. I really would. It's all right if you're living down in southern Italy and your son having... Joking. Final question. That went quick in the end, didn't it? Rob, I'm sorry, can I just say, Mrs. B will shout at me. We've currently got 59 emails.
Wow.
Or 59 different questions. I promise you, we won't be as lax getting these out. So thank you for those that are still waiting.
Keep them coming, because we will get to them
I've
eventually.
really tried to, I've gone right back, and I've tried to kind of mix them up, and anyway, I'm sorry. Rob and Jan from Newcastle. It's a car question, if okay. Say there's no questions we won't take except politics, religion, and lodges. And we do love the channel.
Thank you.
I hate this. Oh, Mrs. B, could you send me a wave and a kiss, please, from Rob?
Just for you, Rob.
This is just for you. Right. So, Mr. B, Mrs. B, feel free to chip in. It's a modern world. Love that, Rob.
Oh,
can you give us
1950s?
Can you give us he's actually put that in his email. Can you give us a quick review of the discovery after 6 months, might actually be longer now, of ownership? Highs and lows, please. Tax, insurance, running costs, etc. As we think we have close to £25,000 to buy one and get a nice one like you pair have, or go for the smaller and slightly cheaper Discovery Sport. That's the one our brother-in-law's got, and he's very happy with it. They are just smaller. Plus, what would you suggest as an alternative? Easy. There isn't. I'm going to get hate mail, and I don't care. It's just my view. There isn't an alternative to a Discovery 4. Trust me. Once you've driven one, there isn't an alternative, is there?
It is fabulous.
Name me.
It's like being sat in this.
If someone can eat, I'm going to get a Shogun. There isn't an alternative to a Discovery 4. My mother had two, and she always used to say to me, God bless her soul, if you drive one of these, you won't want anything else. They are the perfect, I mean perfect, all-round vehicle. We don't. There she is, folks. I absolutely love this car, and as I say, at the moment, I genuinely don't think there's anything to replace it with. It's all-day comfy. It's in superb condition. As I say, one owner, full Land Rover main dealer history. As I've said before, for a dog, oops, the boot's enormous, and yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. You will not regret it, but don't buy one if you can't afford to keep them on the road. They are complex vehicles, independent air suspension all the way around, and so many gadgets and gizmos in it. They are complex cars, and every now and again they will go wrong. So put your hand in your pocket and get it repaired. But love it, absolutely love it. We don't take ours across fields, we don't tow with it, but you know, Google it, go onto YouTube, watch what they can do. We just don't do it because I don't want to, and we don't tow anything. But if you wanted to tow, Discovery. If you wanted to go up a mountain, Discovery. If you want to sit all day in comfort with your seats massaging and nice and warm, Discovery. Heated steering wheel, Discovery. Fridge, they do everything.
And
End
Kenneth loves the back.
And if you've got dogs, end of.
Fabulous.
End of. So, as an alternative, there isn't one. The only one I would put next to it, and I'm future-proofing, what we will probably end up in is a Defender 110. I absolutely love them, but that will be a few years because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the bad boy we've got. So there isn't an alternative as far as I'm concerned.
I love driving the Discovery, it's fabulous.
Yeah, it is. Tax, put your seatbelt on, 700 quid a year, they're not cheap. But it's a Discovery, it's a 3 litre twin turbo, they're not cheap vehicles to run. So yeah, it's £700 a year. Insurance for me, I'm 56. Mrs B's a couple of years older. She's retired, so the premium does go down a little bit, less risk. But for two of us, fully comprehensive on that vehicle, it's £600 a year. So plus the car tax, that's 1,300 quid. Running costs, how long's a piece of string? That's I can't answer that. Since we've had it, you know, we're averaging, you know, on the motorway. We've been down to Devon it 3 times, haven't we? So it's had some big runs. So when it was going down to Devon from here where we live, it's 300 miles, say. We were probably getting about 35, 36 a gallon. I don't think that's bad for a... It's a beast. I really don't think that's bad. If you're pooling around town, don't even look. It's frightening. Don't look. But again, I'm going to say it. I'm not waving me willy. I've nothing to wave me willy over. But if you can't afford to run one, don't get one. Just don't get one. And that's always been my gripe about cars like that. Look after it and it'll look after you. Ours is a one owner, full dealer service history. I know you've not seen it, but what's it like inside and out?
Well, it's like this. It's like having a lazy boy.
It's just lovely.
It is very nice.
I love getting in it. I absolutely love driving it.
And you know what I love? When I drive it, because I take it to Sheffield on a Thursday, and there's a button, and Mr B's number 1, and I'm number 2, so I press number 2, and it remembers my driving position, so it moves the chair, it moves everything. It's just great. I love that.
They are, you know, and I say, there's other cars out there that have got all the same gadgets. In fact, there's other cars out there that have got way more. We've just bought something that will just absolutely destroy it in terms of gadgetry, but what we've just bought something that's fairly new. You know, the Discovery she's quite an old girl now. But, you know, you've put here, for the money you've got, you'll get a good one. They are out there. You know, we lost out on a few, didn't we? Because I just couldn't get to view them. They are out there. But I would, you know, the two things I would not move from, and they're the two things that I still tick that box with. It's got full main dealer service history, and it was a one owner.
What was that you were saying about that site that you go on when you're checking cars?
Oh, Car Vertical.
Car Vertical.
We came across that site. That's not sponsored, by the way. We occasionally watch another channel called High Peak Autos. Lovely young guy, owns his own car business. Good. And he was shown us this app or this facility of this company called Car Vertical. You basically, I think it was 25 quid per report. You get a very in-depth and detailed report on the vehicle you're about to buy. It's best 25 quid you'll ever spend. You know, if you're going to be spending 25, 30 grand on a car, what's 25 quid? We've just done it. We've just done it on something where I got challenged in the dealership because we've bought a fairly newish car, and the guy said, "Why have you done that?" I said, "Well, because I don't know, you know." So anyway, car vertical. So yes, I think you'll get one in terms of your budget, no doubt about that. I say tax, insurance, but that's, you know, that's just what we pay. You might be younger, and running costs. You might be using it once a week, so therefore, you know, you're not spending that much. You know, it costs 150 quid to fill it up. You know, to fill it right to the top, that's how much it costs. But I say, we won't be without it.
No, no.
We'll not be without it.
No.
Until, as I say, the next one for us will be a 110.
And how lovely will it be to take the Discovery down to Austria?
Yeah,
how
yeah,
nice and comfy will that be to get down there?
I say that the main reason was Kenneth. And I know there's other cars out there. There's plenty of SUVs, fine. There's cars. There's estate cars.
My sister swears by estate cars.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. But for us, it suits our needs perfect, and there isn't for us an alternative.
No, it's lovely.
I hope that answers your question, Rob and Jan.
Yes.
That finishes this month's question answer. Thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah, thank you for waiting.
Absolutely.
And we're all good now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're off now to a second session of marital counselling. We will see you soon for a vlog. But as I say, don't expect weekly vlogs. Probably a couple of months coming up. But you will see us soon for a vlog after this. This is B. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. We'll see you on our blog.
Kenneth, say goodbye.
Kenneth's
Son of
tired
Dad.
out.
Mr. B, goodbye.